Marquice G. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is another episode of G Talk. However, we're doing it right from my bed, you guys. Yes, I was about to go right to bed. My candle's burning over there. I was about to put on my show and go to sleep. But I talked to my friend tonight and we talked about something that I was going to talk about anyways. But I figured, you know what, now is the perfect time. And we had such a burning conversation, I could not go to sleep. So it's about 1 o'clock in the morning. It's pitch black outside and I was already about to go to bed. So I just threw this sweatshirt on really quick for you guys. And we're going to discuss an important topic. But before I get started, you already know, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Share, spread the word, okay? So today we're still talking about different things going on during coronavirus, but today's special topic is going to be about friendships and relationships during coronavirus, okay? So during this downtime that we have, on the last little episode, I talked about bonding, and that meant bonding with yourself, bonding with your family, bonding with your friends. We have so much time on our hands that we have time to mend relationships, build relationships, start relationships, as long as you're social distancing. But we have so much time for all of those things. So one of the biggest things that's been pushing me through this time is being able to talk with my friends. We've been doing virtual wine nights, just doing casual talks daily. We've been challenging each other to, exercise and stay motivated and complete different projects that we're working on, and, just get rid of old habits and, keep each other uplifted and out of a funk. They've been the biggest drivers, one of the biggest drivers in helping me get through this coronavirus time. So make sure you check on your friends. Make sure you check on your family. Make sure you're helping one another. We have to be there for one another during this time. So with that being said, if you've been in the house for however long, some of us have been laid off, some of us have been furloughed, some of us were quarantining before quarantining was put into existence, okay? But however long you've been at home and you have not had one of your friends contact you, or you haven't contacted them, then y'all might not be friends, honey, okay? Let me tell you something. I know there are the people that say, oh, we could go years without talking and we still have... I do have friends that we go extensive amounts of times without talking, maybe a month or so, but we still all generally tap in with each other pretty frequently. I've, my best friends that I'm closer with, that we talk once a day, multiple times a week, whatever the case may be. And I have another, smaller group of closer friends that, they might live further away, whatever the case may be. And we, talk a couple of times in a month. But if they haven't checked on you one time during this entire coronavirus, hey, are you okay? Hey, what happened with you and your job? Hey, what's going on with you in school? Hey, just make sure you're social distancing. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Here's some vitamins you can take to boost your immune system. Anything like that. They're not tapping in. You might want to check your friend group, okay? This is the time to start weeding out the good and the bad, okay? And if you are starting to realize that, some trends are transpiring that are not what I would consider to be, characteristics of a friend. And if that's how you feel, address it with that person. Don't just cut them off all cold turkey. Let them know, hey, this is going on. Where do we stand? What's going on? We might need to readdress some things in our friendship. And you never know. They might be going through a hard time. I would hope if it's your friend that they would want to let you know, but everyone handles things in their own way. Friendships run in different ways. But also check in on them, because something might be off in their own life that you don't know about. But this is just the time to reconnect with your friends, reestablish your friend groups, reestablish your boundaries with one another, and just really start to build that solid core foundation. With that being said, let's talk about relationships, okay? Now, I'm single as the last chip in a Pringles can, okay? However, I have been in healthy amount of relationships, I'll say. I'm really a relationship person. So when I get into a relationship, I'm all in, I'm invested. I can't really do the dating, let's talk. Like, I've dated, I guess, whatever that term means. I don't know. But I guess I've, mingled with guys or something like that. But it never really works out for me. I can probably count on like one hand how many people I've actually like dated or like talked to in a like anybody I've ever dated or talked to, it's been for an extensive amount of time, from like a good 6 months to 3 years. Like, it's a long period of time. But I have really taken this time to assess, because one thing about me, I've pretty much known this since I was younger, but I've always known that I want to be a wife. I know at some point in time down the road, I'm going to be somebody's wife. So it made, when I went into relationships, I always thought like, okay, boom, like this is it. We got to start building ourselves up for our future. But of course I was younger, expectations are wild. And now that I'm older, I am understanding how to prepare myself and how to really have that mindset to basically bring in what I want in life. If I want a husband, I have to be the wife that somebody else is looking for. You know what I mean? And not saying that I want to get married anytime soon, or I'm settling down or anything like that. However, you attract what you put out into the world. And what I mean by that is, if I want a husband who, loves God, loves his family, is respectful, is educated, is, giving to his community. If I want all these things in a man, I must also emulate that and put that out into the world. Because even though we try to hide things about ourselves, it always comes to light, whether it's verbally, whether it just translates in your energy, whatever it is, it always comes to light. And whatever you put out is what you're going to attract in. So now I'm at a point where I'm really trying to understand what it is in a man that I'm looking for, and how does that translate into what I'm building in my own life. Because at this point in time, I have a wealth of things to bring to the table. I've always had things to bring to the table, but definitely at this point in my life, we can't be trying to construct the table leg by leg at this point. At this point, the table's set. The table is set. We're just coming. What are you bringing to the pitch in? At this point, what are you bringing to the pitch in? So I have my table set. My table's fine. What are you bringing in as well? And I don't just want to be randomly going after people or entertaining people just because I get bored at 11:30 at night. Watch a movie, go to sleep, take some melatonin, you'll be all right. And I know it's easier said than done, but you have to really start to think about, especially for my older crowd. I don't know who may be watching this, but especially I know a lot of the people that I interact on a daily basis are somewhere in their early 20s to mid 20s. So especially for that group of people, I know we're trying to have fun, and if that's the life you want to live, if you want to live the bachelor or bachelorette life, that is perfectly okay as well. But you always have to think about, what are my actions saying about me, and what does that say to someone that I might want to attract into my life? And who do I want that person to be? Do I want this to just be a fling? Do I want this person to just be my boyfriend for a little while? Or do I want this person to come in and be in my life forever? And I honestly feel like when you find that person, you will know it. You'll feel it. And you'll feel it in here. You'll just know. The expectations need to be clear and set from the beginning. Now, also, with that being said, we getting too old to be playing games, y'all. We're getting entirely too old. When I think about my past relationships, granted, I was younger, so they were meant to be, building blocks is what I'll call them. They're meant to be building blocks. And I will never say any guy I've ever encountered in a serious manner, I will never say that I would ever regret, encountering that person, because any guy that's ever come into my life has added something, whether it was something I realized about the world, I realized about men, or realized about myself. They always taught me a lesson in some form. However, some of the things that I think about that I dealt with, some of the things that I let sweep under the rug, because I consider myself a very easygoing person. I like to talk through things and I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. But some of the things, I'm like, honey, what were you thinking? Like, you should have let that go a long time ago. But it was because, one, when I'm in a relationship, I'm all in. Two, when I care about people in general, whether it's in a relationship, a friendship, my family, I love hard and I give all of myself, sometimes to a fault. But this is speaking for women, because I've only been in a relationship as a woman, so I can only relate to women. And men, if you feel like you can relate to this, then, that's fine as well. But I'm speaking from a woman's perspective. Women, we have to know our strengths. And it's innate in us to be nurturing and caring and emotional creatures, sometimes more so than a male is. And because of that, we become blinded to certain things, or our eyes might be extremely open to them, but because of this care and love that we have inside of us, we let it pass. But for what? What is that doing for your own emotional state? Because you're going to keep letting this use and abuse you for oh so long, to the point where you're battered, bruised, and ruined. To the point where you now have to try to rebuild yourself and take so much energy to just reroot yourself and start over from the ground up. And sometimes that's what you need. But sometimes you've been through that same cycle over and over and over again. How many times are you going to do that? How many times? We have to know our strengths. And like I said, you bring something to the table. Know what that is. And never let anyone try to dim that light from you and make you feel like you're anything less. We have so many double standards when it comes to men and women. I know for a fact, some of the things that I've experienced in relationships, had it been me doing it, I would have been called everything but the child of God. And we have so many double standards for men and women that we have to stop. We have to stop those things. We have to stop setting these, social norms on what the role of a woman is and what the role of a man is and what a woman can and should not do and what a man can and should not do in relationships. If you want to be with somebody, it needs to be for a mutual and beneficial reason. All the extras and the hurt and the pain and all that other stuff, it's not needed. It's time that we revolutionize what relationships look like, what the standards look like, and some of those things, some of those growing pains, you need to learn and to grow. Yes. However, the fact that we're still dealing with these things, it doesn't make sense to me. And one of my relationships in particular basically was the foundation of what I knew a relationship to be. And every relationship after that, I had to unlearn all of the wrong ways that I learned how to be in a relationship with this person. And I thought about it and I'm like, granted, I wasn't at the time, I wasn't really, open or expressive with other people about what was going on in my relationship life and things like that. So I had to learn for myself. But now that I think about it, and I'm like, there are so many other girls and women that I know that have been, I know girls who had children when I was in 6th grade. Thinking about that now, even then it was mind-blowing, but thinking about that now and really understanding what it means to be a woman and some of the hardships that we have to face. I can only imagine the trauma that those girls faced then and that they still might be dealing with now as women. And you know, the first thing when it comes to like a teenage mother or a girl having a baby, a woman having a baby out of wedlock, is, you know, the finger get, how could you let this happen to you? How could you've ruined your life, etc., etc. I never hear the reverse side of the story. Never see the finger being pointed at the man. Oh, how could you not protect yourself? How did you not pull out? Whatever the case may be, we never really hear that side. And that goes back to what I was saying about double standards. We can't keep having these. When something happens, there's two parties. So why is this one getting attacked over here all the time, but this one is not being held accountable? We have to stop that. It's so sad to say that the same qualities as women that make us attractive, that make us desirable, are the same things that we get chastised about. A man wants a woman that's caring and nurturing and loving and lusts after him in some form. But the moment a mistake or some, societal norm negative happens, we get chastised for those same things. And it's just time that we realize that those things aren't fair. Men and women, be honest about what your intentions are and what you want when you meet a woman or when you meet a man. And again, I can only speak from a woman's perspective, but men, be clear about what you want. And if you see that this woman is doing all she can to be with you, but she also has all these other stresses going on in her life and she's trying to do something, you can see you're only bringing her down, because men, you see it. You try to ignore it, but you see it. Leave her alone. Be a man and leave her alone. As much as we cry and we might act crazy and go ballistic, all we want to do is to be able to heal and move on. And if you're still looming around here trying to drop off some goods every now and again just because your contact list ran out, or you want to feel like you still have some hold in some reign, leave her alone. Leave her alone. And women, know your strength. You can pick yourself up. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to take that time. But know your strengths. You can pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And just as good as you were before him, you will be even better after him, because now you've learned and now you know better. Now you know what to expect. And now you know how to manifest your next relationship. Now you know what you deserve and what you don't deserve. And it's okay. So in this time of quarantine, bond with your significant others. If things are going left, talk about it. And either you're going to fix it or you're going to leave it. 3, discover one another. Because a lot of the times we enter relationships, and because of how quick society expects us to move, and especially here in the Midwest, we move so fast. There's so many things we don't know about each other. Some of y'all living together and don't even know that this man doesn't wash his socks. You probably washing them for him because he never did. Figure it out. Get to know one another. And if you're in a relationship and you guys are separated because of quarantine, or he's not talking to you because of what? We're in quarantine. Unless he's an essential worker and he's working 24 hours a day or 16 hours a day, and he might be, at some point he has a second to spare to either come see you, unless y'all decide social distancing is what y'all want to do if you're taking it that serious. But he has some time to at least FaceTime you, send you a quick text message. Hey, I just got off, I'm tired, but I'm thinking about you. Can't wait to see you soon. Something. If that's not happening, cut it. real quick. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys about friendships and relationships. I know it's a struggle. It can be difficult. It can be challenging. Trust me, I went through my fair share of friendships, relationships, family, all of that. We all have stories we could tell for ends and ends of time. But this is the time to mend it, fix it, or cut it. This is the time. So figure it out. What does that look like for you? This is the time to figure it out. Let me know if you got anything valuable from this down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Be motivated. Be powerful in your strength and in your knowledge, and just continue to push through this virus day by day. We're going to overcome it, and we're going to come out on the other side better than ever. And always remember, you are strong, you are fearless, and you are capable of anything that you put your mind to. And I'll see you next time. Bye.